Have you ever felt like your brain is a Ferrari engine stuck in a school zone? You see patterns where others see chaos. You solve problems before others even realize there is a problem. To the outside world, you are the smart one, the capable one, the one who has it all figured out. But lately, the engine has been smoking. The gears are grinding. You aren't just tired. The smarter you are, the more your own thoughts start to overwhelm you. In psychology, we often see a strange paradox. The higher the cognitive capacity, the faster the burnout. It's a quiet epidemic among the gifted, the overachievers, and the deep thinkers. You aren't burning out because you're weak, and you aren't burning out because you've lost your edge. You're burning out because high intelligence is a high-performance tool that comes with high-performance costs. Today, we're going to look at the secret psychology of why smart often leads to shattered, and how to save your mind before the engine seized up for good. The pattern recognition tax. The first reason high intelligence leads to faster burnout is something called hyperbrain/hyperbody theory. If you have a high IQ, your brain doesn't just process information faster, it processes more of it. You have a heightened sensory gateway. While someone else might walk into a meeting and see a group of colleagues, you see the micro expressions on your boss's face, the faulty logic in the new proposal, the hum of the air conditioner, and the 3 different ways this project could fail 6 months from now. In psychology, this is known as cognitive load. Your brain is a supercomputer that never goes into sleep mode. You're constantly running background programs, analyzing, predicting, and reflecting. This uses an immense amount of glucose and oxygen. While others are idling, you are redlining. You burn through your mental fuel at double the speed, often reaching the end of your day with a brain fog that feels physical. You aren't lazy, you've simply hit your processing limit. The gifted child legacy. For many highly intelligent people, burnout is rooted in childhood. If you were the gifted child, you learned very early that your value was tied to your output. You weren't praised for your effort, you were praised for being the best. This creates a psychological foundation known as performance-based self-esteem. When being smart is your entire identity, failure isn't just a mistake, it's an existential threat. You feel a constant crushing pressure to maintain the standard you set at age 10. You don't know how to work at 70% capacity because 100% is your baseline. You push through the early signs of exhaustion because you're terrified that if you slow down, you'll stop being special. In your mind, a break isn't rest. It's a failure of your potential. This is the gifted child burnout, the exhaustion of trying to live up to a version of yourself that never learned how to fail. Drowskis Overexcitabilities. There's a concept in psychology called Drowskis Overexcitabilities. It suggests that highly intelligent people often have supersensitivities in 5 areas: psychomotor, sensory, intellectual, imaginational, and emotional. To a high IQ person, a small problem can feel like a tragedy. A quiet noise can feel like a shout. Your intellectual overexcitability means you can't stop thinking about a problem until it's solved, even at 3 a.m. Your emotional overexcitability means you feel the stress of everyone else in the room. You are essentially walking through life with the volume turned up to 11 on every sense. This leads to neurosensory overload. You aren't just stressed by work, you are overstimulated by existence. When the world is too loud, too bright, and too illogical, your nervous system eventually shuts down to protect itself. That shutdown is what we call burnout. The isolation of the problem solver. Intelligence can be incredibly lonely. Because you see solutions so quickly, you often become the fixer for everyone around you. At work, you get the hardest tasks. In your family, you're the one who handles the crises. This leads to a psychological state called compassion fatigue mixed with hyper-responsibility. You start to feel like the world only works if you are the one holding it together. You stop asking for help because, frankly, you've learned that it's faster to just do it yourself than to explain it to someone else. But here is the psychological trap. When you are always the helper, you have no one to help you. You become a pillar of strength that is slowly crumbling from the inside. Highly intelligent people often burn out because they have no peer support for their mental load. They are the strongest person they know, and even the strongest pillars have a breaking point. The existential vacuum. Finally, there is existential burnout. Highly intelligent people are prone to big picture thinking. You don't just care about your job, you care about whether the job matters. You don't just see a task, you see the futility of the system. When your brain realizes that the effort you're putting in doesn't match the meaning of the outcome, you hit a meaning wall. In psychology, this is called anomie, a sense of disconnection from society's goals. If your high-speed brain is forced to work on low-meaning tasks, it begins to eat itself for stimulation. You start overanalyzing your own life, your own choices, and your own happiness. You burn out not because the work is hard, but because the work is empty. Your brain is starving for purpose and it's using your own energy to search for it. The soft solution. Cooling the engine. So if you are the high-performance engine that is currently smoking, how do you fix it? It starts with intellectual humility. You have to accept that your brain, as powerful as it is still a biological organ. It has limits. The draft mindset. Practice doing things at 70%. Learn that good enough is a strategic choice, not a failure. Sensory sanctuaries. Create spaces where the volume of the world is at zero. No inputs, no problems to solve, no patterns to recognize. Intellectual play. Find a hobby where you are not the expert. Allow yourself to be a stupid beginner. It relieves the pressure of being the smart one. You have to move from cognitive dominance to nervous system regulation. Your value is not your IQ, your value is your presence. If you felt like this video was reading your personal diary, I want you to take a deep breath. You aren't broken. You aren't losing your edge. You are just a high-capacity person who has been operating in a low-capacity environment for too long. Your intelligence is a gift, but it shouldn't be a cage. It is okay to be just a person for a while. The world won't fall apart if the smartest person in the room takes a nap. If this resonated with you, leave a comment, like the video. I'd love to hear how you're learning to cool your gears. And if you want more deep dives into the psychology of our complicated minds, hit that subscribe button. I'm the Simple Nerd, and remember, your peace is more important than your potential. I'll see you in the next one.